They have the most beautiful color selection. It will blow your mind. Go online, go check it out. They clearance their polish pretty frequently and it ends up being a whopping $2. This is what I'm wearing on my nails right now. It is called Jewel Beetle. It's this beautiful kind of duochrome, really pretty, grungy, but pretty color. It's like rust and golden, but like green golden. I really love it. And I wanted to have a creamy base for it to go on top of because it is a little bit on the sheer side and I wanted that kind of duochrome element to be very loud. So I first put on Log Cabin, which on its own is kind of like the ugliest color you've ever seen. But if you layer on top of it another thing, it like looks really pretty, but it's like puke green, poop green. It's not a sexy shade. This one is Nocturne. It's just like they go on so smooth and creamy. I also super love this shade Go To Greige. I've been wearing this one for years. The name says it all. It is the perfect gray creamy shade that is bright, but it's not pastel. It's very appropriate for this time of year. It just kind of goes with everything. And I love this shade so much. This shade right here is like denim, but it is creamy and beautiful and just like, oh, it's so good. This shade is called Willowa. It is so opaque that you only really need one coat. It's the craziest thing. These polishes no one talks about. And the thing that I love about them is that the colors are so unique. Like you don't see this kind of a shade everywhere. This one, which I was wearing recently with like a camel toned kind of sweater, you guys really loved it and they don't make this shade anymore. I'm so sorry. This one was called Faded Myrtle and this is what kind of made me get back into painting my nails with H&M polishes. And it's just it's the easiest polish. It doesn't streak. It dries beautifully. It stays glossy. Another shade that they discontinued that was so super pretty is the shade Paper Ash, which was like this white, but has like a tint of gray blue. Ooh, look at this one right here is pretty. This is called Vienna. Ooh, oh my God. That is so pretty. Okay, so I am going to quickly show you my collection of H&M polishes so that you can see the ones that I love that I think are so good in case you were interested in ordering offline. All right, so here we go. The shade Governess, beautiful creamy bright berry shade. And then I have Olive Grove, which is so great if you love, you know, any army greens or you wear a lot of greens for fall. This is a beautiful shade. I have the shade Pillow Talk, which is a very kind of neutral, sophisticated pink without being too, you know, baby doll pink. Go To Greige, of course. And then Hopscotch is another beautiful kind of gray toned, lighter gray that's more cool toned. I love the shade Bitter Chocolate. All the H&M polishes are so good. I have not used a polish of theirs that I didn't like. So moving right along, I want to try out the Solar Flare Bronzing Powder. We're gonna just kind of dive right in and see what happens. And then of course we'll play with the blushes. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp this on the skin. I think I prefer like a more warm bronzer right now, which is so funny. For the longest time, I was all about like cool tone bronzers. And it's funny how through the years, like you just kind of change your mood and change your mind about things, you know? But this might be a little too cool tone for me. It's going on nice and light. That's what I like about their powders is they don't really grab or blotch. You really have a lot of room to kind of make it what you want. And I super appreciate that. So you can see this is going on really nice. It warmed me right up. I do want to now go in with their foundation powder. Now, this was a little bit too dark for me to use as actual powder foundation, but I did think that it would be nice as kind of like a finishing powder on the perimeter to just add a little bit of warmth and coverage. So we're gonna test that out. One thing that I did try that I did not like is their Radiant Concealer Pen. Oh my gosh, this is such a no. It literally grabs bunches and makes your under eye area look worse than it did to begin with, in my opinion, because there's not a lot of coverage here, but the product itself kind of gets tacky and sticky, and I just do not like this or recommend it. Their original concealers I remember enjoying quite a bit, but I'm just kind of stuck on the concealers that I'm already using, so I don't even want to kind of mess around with anything. This is really pretty. Like, it's giving me a little bit of coverage and warmth, which is nice. I like it. This shade right here I'm really excited about. This is called Soft Russet. So that you guys get the most out of this video, I am going to use one shade on one cheek, another shade on the other, and that way you can just see the swatches. I know I'll look a little uneven, but I think it'll be better for you watching. So this is Soft Russet. I love that. It just blends so nicely. Like, you can't really see where it starts and stops, and that's what I really love about this particular formula, the H&M formula. I just really, really love their blushes. So that's Soft Russet. I want to open up Tawny Peach, which really does not look like anything at all, but that's kind of how these are. Like, they don't really look like much in the pan. And then when you place it on the cheeks, you're like, oh, okay. So it's one that you really want to try on and play with. Like, do you see that? It's already just super gorgeous. Golden Peach, another one that I've had on hand for a long time. So I grabbed one of these. This reminds me very, very much of NARS's Orgasm. So if you like that kind of like peachy, pinky kind of a thing, I think you will enjoy this. It's really, really pretty. Definitely one of the more shiny ones of the bunch. I have Cameo Pink, which has been like my number one. This is just one of those pinks that for whatever reason, even though it's more cool toned, it goes with everything. It just has a nice, natural, flush kind of a feel to it, and I really, really love that. So I ended up grabbing I grabbed 3 Cameo Pink. This is the shade Pink Coral. Let's put some of this on. I'm gonna look like a crazy, like, blush queen by the end of this video, but like, whatever, it's fine. It is fine, we will survive. See, you would think that it would go on and be like super duper crazy. It's not. It's just like a nice flush. Like, that's the thing that I like about these also. So I have one more shade here, and this is Imperial Red. Gonna be another one of those crazy ones where you're like, oh, sure. But this is actually just like, oh, so stunning. Again, you can like sheer it out to where it's just that like slight hit of color. It doesn't have to be like super, super crazy. You can just do like a nice wash. And I do want to show you guys a few lipsticks that I picked up. I got London Season, which I didn't have on hand before. When I got rid of all of my lipsticks, I kept a ton of H&M ones. You guys saw that. I'll link that video below. They make beautiful lipsticks, and they are not expensive. They're, you know, so reasonably priced. They're $9.99. I also got another Powder Puff. So this is the cream finish, this is the matte finish, and this is Powder Pink. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what? H&M, just like, they know color. How did they do this? How do they know color so well? I also picked up In a Nutshell. You guys have heard me talk about this one over and over again. I just had to because it's one that I wear so often, and it's so funny. This is actually one of my sisters was using this visiting, and they're like, where'd you get this? Like, what is this? And they didn't realize it was H&M. It's just like so opaque, creamy, comfortable, and the tones look so flattering on so many different skin tones. This is another absolute favorite. Okay, I have a highlighter that I am excited to test out. I saw this and I was like, why not? We're here. I drove all the way out here. I kind of want to try as much as I can. So we're going to really just go for it. This is the shade Delicate Pearl. They have different shades. I held back and I didn't want to get all of them, you know. I don't need more highlighters, but I just wanted to try this because I'm like, you know, their powders are so nice. So I'm going to grab a little on a fan brush and we are going to highlight. That is beautiful and way more intense than I thought it would be. Dang, okay. I love it when I find good makeup like this,